Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Matthew Mancha, and welcome to my research proposal on climate positivity for Maui. So, the background behind this is that we recently just had a fire disaster, natural disaster, pretty much hitting Maui. It hit in multiple areas. Well, certainly, it was kind of predicted that this was kind of going to go on because for weeks they've been dealing with high winds, up 76 miles per hour, and we started to see a fire in Kahula area. So eventually, these fires started breaking out in multiple areas around Maui Island, Lahaina, Kahie, you name it. Um, and they burned quite a bit. They burned down quite a bit of things very quickly, very fast. So around October 11th through FEMA, this report came out about Lahaina's fire. So far, it estimated around August 10th that more than 2,719 structures were burned. And we're looking at exposal capital to even try to just basically repair homes. Clean up and basically repair homes is about $5.5 billion. Now that's a lot of area. I mean, that's quite a bit. I mean, most of it's residential, some of it is industrial, some of it is commercial, but it just does not count for all of the losses that people had to deal with. I mean, there's still people missing, 115 people missing. There's about 93 to 99 people who have actually died from this fire, which isn't exactly great, but it also is bringing to the fact that why weren't these people really like in preparedness for this? I mean, yeah, they do have some educational programs here and there through the government about how to prepare for a fire, but not everyone was prepared for the extent of the fire or how quickly this fire was actually going to be. So, needless to say, that's what's leading me into this research project. So, given today's costly climate changes, climate positivity is a new frontier towards disaster resilience and humanitarian survival. Now, climate positivity stands for that when you are not just going after a net zero perspective on building or reconstructing or doing technology or the energy sector, it's just not just doing that. It's actually affecting all the greenhouse gases that are out there, not just carbon. So it's just rebalancing out everything, not to a zero point, but actually lowering it dramatically, which is a good thing to do because that way certain areas within climate change, um, like temperature, heat, perspiration, and so forth, starts to reallocate how their energy sources are going to be. So that's what really led me to this research question. Is investing in climate resilient infrastructure action plans to lower greenhouse emissions, fight off future natural disasters, and to keep Malian people's lands in their hands feasible. Now, when I'm saying this, is that I'm saying like these people have lost a lot. Some of these people still have mortgages on their properties, and they are about to lose their simple fees, or what we know as their trusts, their deeds of trust, due to a bank because now they can easily withhold that and hold that for them, which is not really great because then the banks can come in and turn it over to Paris Hilton and say, hey, Paris Hilton, your company is going to be developing this whole area into more tourist areas. Why not give it to you? At least we'll make money off of you. But what about the people that have to live there, work there, and so forth? So why aren't we the people or the government or the federal government even stepping in and saying, hey, look, we really need to do climate resilience here. We really need to start focusing on how we build these things, how we build houses, how we build buildings, how we do these types of infrastructure to combat the climate change that we are now facing, future climate changes that are going to be happening. So My first steps in this methodology is that I'm going to do a constructed questionnaire. And not just any questionnaire. I mean, we're going to go through demographics. We're going to go through, do they have an idea of preparedness? Do they weren't prepared? What's going on with their heads? Because we need to survey these people. We need to find out what they know and don't know. And the best way for me to do that was but to mail it out, three locations where the fire victims were at. But here's the thing, though. The governor wants to reopen up for tourism. So he wanted Maui to be reopened by October 8th. So hotels and everybody else has to start evicting these people out of these areas. And that kind of can skew some of the information that we got. But it's okay. We can estimate that out. So far, I can tell you that my results from this is that a lot of people have a lot of degrees of consciousness in this. They have a lot of saying of like how they want it repaired. They want the Filipinos, the Chinese, they want the people who actually live on the island to rebuild their homes and so forth for themselves. But we also need the funding to do that. And that's why with this research and background behind it, it's going to benefit them because with doing climate resilient construction and innovation can restore their economy, their island, and their hope in humanity. Thank you, and have a great